And we're live. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning. It depends on where you are. I'm Smart Conserver, and I have two persons here. Can I get a thumbs up, please? Ooh, I know I have three. All right. Today our topic will be being creative in conservation. Being creative in conservation. So we're going to talk about high storm. So we're going to talk about Hi, DJ Anna. How are you? So, we're going to talk about how creative you can be in conservation. So, let's think about it. When you think about conservation, you think about something that you save, and saving can mean different things to different people. I can probably decide that I'm going to save 1 cent every day, while you may decide that you want to save probably two $2. Whatever it is, you are saving and I'm saving. I may not be able to save that $2. You may be able to save that $2. Hello. Hi, TVZ TV. How are you? Right. So conservation may mean different things to different people. Please remember to leave your thumbs up, guys. Thank you. Hello, Peer Bike Live TV. Thank you very much for coming. Now, today we're going to talk about conservation on a whole. So we're thinking about water, electricity, and both of them, if we conserve that, then money will automatically fall into play. You're from the US. Thank you very much for joining the live. And please remember to leave your thumbs up. Thank you for coming. Today we're talking about conservation. No, you can probably understand the language that I'm speaking. Some of them won't be able to because they speak other languages. Now, one other thing with I know you'll be here. Thank you for understanding. Now, one other thing with conservation, and we're going to start with the water aspect of it. And remember, it's creativity in the conservation that we use. Now, one other thing with conservation is we need to find ways how conservation will affect us. Now, I may try a method and it worked for me. You may try that method and you find it a burden, you find it difficult to conserve. Now, for me, especially at this time of the year, we have, well, we were having a drought. I'm not sure if the drought is still there. Um, I'm not sure if it is still there, but in case it is, I think I'm ready. Now we have been getting some intermittent periodic rain, and the very first thing that I did was to ensure that the things that I have, like the drip irrigation drum or even some buckets, are filled with this rainwater. Mind you, I have not been able to use this rainwater as yet because the place is still wet. And it's strange. Hi, Maria. And it's strange. You will have water, you will have water that you use to water your plants, and you find yourself watering every day. Day in, day out, you have to be watering. However, when you have the rain falling, you don't have to water every day because it has been probably about 2 to 3 days now that I have not been able to water any of the plants that I have around there, which is a good thing. It saves me because presently now water has been going up, or water rates have been going up. So it will save you for a couple of days from using the water, and we're under a water restriction. So what is happening is with the water restriction, they're asking us to not water our plants or the grass area. Hello, JC. Morning. It's evening on my side. Now, for those of you who are not able to save on this water in terms of um, having 1 minute, yes, in terms of having the capability to have plants in your area. Hi, Maria. I read that. Um, for those of you who don't have plants in your area and you'd like to have plants, one of the best plants that you can get is to have some succulents. Succulents are able to tolerate the drought for quite a while, quite a long while. And it's rather good to have plants around you. Now, not moving away from the plants, in terms of another creative method that you can use is ensure that when you do water deep. And when I say deep, this is what I mean. Now, take for instance, you have your grass. I have not watered my grass for the longest while. I think probably sometime in May. And we were not having rains in May, even though it is normal for us to have rains. We were not having any rain. And I stopped. Hi, Richard, how are you? And we stopped having rains for a while. So I wasn't watering the grass area. And can I tell you, I have not seen a dead grass out there so far. And probably it's because I have watered deep when I was doing so. So in times like these, that deep watering will assist, it will help. Now, moving on, like I said, the water, we were told that we are getting a 5% increase. So it means that whatever it is that you do, 5% is now going to go on our water bills. Whether or not we like it, it's going on. Even with the water restriction, another thing, people, in order to be creative with this construction, with this water restriction, they have been reducing our water supply. And if and when they do reduce your water supply, you're going to have issues. Let me explain to you why. The water went down or the water is locked off and you have the where the meter is, there's a lock off valve and you have that lock off valve on. It means that when you turn on your pipe inside the house, the water the water that you're not getting is sucking. The system is sucking from that meter out there. And when it sucks, air comes through. And when the air comes through, it's spinning that meter. So you're paying for something that you did not use, that you don't have, that you didn't even get. So you have to be careful. Now, moving on to the electricity side of it. How can we be creative with our electricity? Recently someone came and they showed me I won't tell you what it is yet. He showed me he said it was a battery, right? He said it was a battery, and on that battery there was a they were selling the battery with the panels. This was about two panels. I don't remember the size of the panels. However, it was about two. And those two panels, they said I charge a battery. When I looked on it, it was not, it wasn't a battery. It was actually a solar generator. Now, they said that solar generator was capable of pulling 1000 watts and that it was hybrid. Now, the explanation for that is Being hybrid, it has a capability of being used when it is being charged. A way that we can really be creative with our electricity, we can probably get that. Now, if you get that, instead of hooking it up on the entire house, as a matter of fact, probably 1,000 kilowatt wouldn't even be able to run your home. It depends on what you're using, because when they do say 1,000 kilowatt, it doesn't give that thousand one time, it does so incrementally. It's just like you buy a 250 watt panel. You don't get 250 out of it one go. It does so incrementally. So please, when you're getting something to work, if they say 500 watt, then when you're thinking about whatever wattage, you don't get this wattage one time. It does it incrementally. And then when you're using it, you use it on whatever it is that you know that there's a greater need, that there's a greater reliance on, to put it now, um, electricity where that is concerned. If you realize that you have a solar generator, and you want a solar generator, possibly it depends on where, on the kilowatt that you get, it may be able to run your refrigerator. However, the hybrid one that I'm telling you about will be able to constantly run the refrigerator once you put the panels on top, and it constantly have the panel feed. Now, normally when we're doing our addition to our homes, we don't include in it the capability of upgrading or getting a solar system. Most of us don't. And the reason why we don't is because sometimes we don't think that we'll be able to afford it. I've seen persons do addition that they wanted, what they call it, the dryer for the home. And they created that piping with a plug, ready to accept a dryer. No, they may never get a dryer, but you have to think ahead. Please think ahead. And another thing that I'm encouraging you to do with your creativity is research. Don't just take it that oh, I need a generator. You need to decide what it is that you need it for. I've seen or I've heard of a instant today, just today, where someone wanted a camera system for his home. Hi, Motorola King, how are you? Yes, uh he wanted a camera system for his home, and he knew that he wanted it to be at four corners. Also, he wanted it to record. So he was asking someone for it, and he got it. Now, while it may not be one, while it may not be one that I would have chosen, it was what was given to him. And he was sort of complaining that he got that one. But let me tell you something. If you do your research, hello, Mac Music TV, thank you for joining the live. If you do your research, and your research will tell you that you know from the get-go that you need this particular appliance or you need this particular electronics, you need to sit down and analyze what it is that you need it for. Now, in terms of like a refrigerator, you would need a refrigerator for just cooling your stuff, keeping your meat kind, you're able to get some cool water, all of that you need for your refrigerator. However, there are other things that are dependent on the type of refrigerator that you get. So let's look at it. So now you're thinking of getting a refrigerator, and you have a family of, say, says you alone. So you need a refrigerator, and you're thinking of a 25 cubic, but is you alone? Can you buy enough meat to full that refrigerator? You see some of the things that you need to think about? Or you're thinking about getting a smaller refrigerator. Then now you think of, do I need this refrigerator to increase my light bill, to increase my power consumption? Think about it. If you go bigger, your electricity consumption will be increased. If you go the right size that would be suitable for you, then you need now to think, will getting this refrigerator add or reduce to the amount of electricity that I consume monthly? So think again. Is there, hi Dodong Sky Vlog, thank you for coming to my live. Thank you very much for being here. And please remember to leave your thumbs up. I really do appreciate you all. Now, when you think of the refrigerator and you're thinking of something that increases your electricity, ask or do your research what type of electricity, what type of refrigerator there are. Think of it, research it, because can I tell you, sometimes the sales rep is only there to sell, and she will probably not show you the 9 cubic. He or she will probably show you the 25 cubic, because it is going to look good. Something that look big and nice will really look good. I am thanking you as well for supporting mine. Yes, so something like that will increase your electricity bill. So we have to think about that as well. Now, another thing too is, if you do know a repairman that repair these items, please don't ask him. Don't ask him. And I'll tell you why. There, no, I'm a Jamaican. Storm is saying, smart, if you cannot decide on the size and you're going to buy, what should you do? All right, in terms of the size, there are things online that can tell you. The size of things will be dependent on you and the size of your family. No, you really wouldn't take a 9 cubic refrigerator if you're one of those persons who buy meat for the month, or not only meat for the month. You have a family of 6, a 9 cubic is not going to really work for you. Have you ever seen on the movies when those persons overseas open their refrigerator? Yes, yes, go down, Sky. I am Jamaican, and I'm in Jamaica currently. When I'm overseas, then I will say. Normally, if I'm overseas, then I normally say. Yes. Have you ever seen it, Storm? If you do look at it, when they open the refrigerator, it's practically empty. Some of us pack up these refrigerator, and because of that, especially if it's a conventional refrigerator, that compressor works hard. Hello, Mix Vlogs channel. Thank you for the like. Thank you very much. Yes. So they pack up that refrigerator, and it creates a burden on the compressor. So the compressor works harder to keep things cooler. Storm Shade say you have never traveled. It's a it no, what I'm telling you is, when you look on the movies, you don't watch movies. If you look at the movies and when you see them open a refrigerator, it doesn't have much things in there now. It doesn't. Because then the more things you have in there crammed in, there's a pressure on that compressor to cool it. Worse if the time is hot. If the time is hot, it means more cooler air is coming out, it's escaping, and the refrigerator will take a while to cool down. Guys, we need to be creative, very creative, and think about these things. Because if we don't, the more the compressor should run, is the more money that is coming out of our pockets. That's how serious it is. Now, back to the refrigerator in choosing Storm. So you have a family of say six. A 9 cubic would not do for you if you're purchasing especially meat kind for the month. Hello, Joel. How are you? And yes, buenas tardes. Thank you for coming to my live. A 9 cubic will not, please remember to leave your thumbs up. A 9 cubic would not work for you, Storm. It would not. So I would suggest, and as a matter of fact, persons tend to know the size that they need. They do, you know. I'm not saying that they don't buy the size that they don't need, but they do know the size that they need. And they purchase accordingly sometimes. Hi, Astro. Thank you for coming to my live. Please remember to leave your thumbs up. Right. So it depends on your family that you decide which size refrigerator that you need. And it also means your buying habit as well. So if you have a buying habit of, say, you're going to buy your meat kind for the month, or it lasts you a month and a half, a small 9 cubic will not work for you and your family. It won't. So we have to consider these things. And like I say, we have to be very creative. It may mean that if you do have a refrigerator, in order to create some space sometimes, it's best that if you buy your meat in bulk, package them out singly and individually, so that probably when you are ready to cook, you grab a package. Just grab a package. So you're in and out of that refrigerator in no time. Standing up in the refrigerator, and please remember, you are supposed to be the one who hello, cats and dreams. Hi. Thank you for coming to my live. Please remember to leave your thumbs up. Yes, you are supposed to be the one who pack your refrigerator so you know where things are. Mozarella King is asking, Smart, where do you get this wealth of knowledge you have? It's very impressive. I must say, Storm, that I do read a lot and I do observe as well. Thank you very much, Cats. You're 25. Yes, I do read a lot as well. And reading, I realize that there are some things that I read that won't work for me. It won't. So in reading, I try and analyze the information that I read, and sometimes I try and tweak it. And when I say tweak, let me explain to you, give you an example, because I like speaking with examples. I have tried planting a herb garden, and what I do like about the herb garden is I can go outside, and if I'm cooking and I want some scallion, I can go outside and pick my scallion and come back in and finish cooking. I like that. If I want parsley, I can go outside, pick the parsley, and come back in. I do really like that. However, what I realize is that I like thyme. You know the thyme that you cook with? I have French thyme around there, and some persons tend to use it. It grows aggressively. Some persons tend to use that and cook. I do use it, but I rather the other time, the fine leaf time, more. Now, because I rather the fine leaf time more, whenever I purchase it, no, no, Storm, I don't have a big farm. I don't. If you look on the channel, you will see that I try and grow things vertically. And I'll soon come back to that. Now, I realize that when I do go to the market to buy my time, and that was from time was probably about $30. Thank you for coming. I Pretty Ding Vlogs. Hi, good morning. Thank you for coming. And yes, your like is done. Yes, so I realize that when I do go to the market and I purchase a piece for $30, I don't like it when it's dried. I like it when it's green. Now, if I don't use that quickly, hi, Tevize TV. I know I saw you earlier up there. You're back. Thanks. Now, if I don't use it quickly, then some of it get dried and I end up throwing it out. That for me was a waste. Now, know that time is $100 a bundle. I don't buy it. I honestly don't buy it, Storm. So what I do is this. I used to when I do buy it, I try to catch it to let it grow. But I don't know for the life of me, it not growing, it die. I went out and I asked someone for. No, we don't do that here, Pretty Ding Vlogs. I'm sorry. We don't do that here. Yes, so what I realized is when I asked someone for a plant, and when I asked them, hi cousins, how are you? Thank you for coming. No, what I realized is when I asked for the plant, it grew for about 3 months, and after the 3 months, it died. For some strange reason, it died. I went to an agricultural store probably about a month ago. I'm telling you, I went to an agricultural store about a month ago. And when I went there, Storm, what I realized is that the plant that they have for the time is about 1,000 something. 1,000 something. I think, no, it was $750 for a pot. However, when I went there and I said $750, but my $750 is going to go down the drain. And I just, well, I buy the $100 bundle. I didn't buy it. I went inside and I went and looked on the seeds. And when I look on the seeds, they had the time seeds there. And I came home and I planted it immediately. There were instructions on the back of the seedling package, and I followed it to the T. And right now, they're bursting up around there. And I'm really happy with that. It's bursting up around there. Guys, please cool down on the emojis. We don't use a lot of emojis here. It's rather distracting. Thank you. No, Storm is asking, Smart, you are thinking about your money. Yes, and it wasting if I don't use all that time. While if I have the plant, I can go out there and periodically cut. Periodically cut. So I tend to like to have my things, and remember, this is creativity in conservation. It is. It's not wasting. It's not wasting. You're leaving Pinelli Vlogs. Okay, bye. Thank you. Um, you're not wasting anything when you do that. It's it's easier. It's easier to conserve, especially with food nowadays, because those things can be expensive. For those who did not hear, please cool down on the emojis. It's distracting while it's up. Thank you very much for understanding and listening. Right. Now, another thing, I think Storm had asked, let me see what Storm had asked about. Um, yeah, I'm thinking about my money. Oh, Storm asked if I had a big farm. Storm, I went on a channel today and the person planted, um, what's it again? Pumpkin vertically, vertically, and he had some nice size pumpkin. When I went on there and I saw it planted vertically, and it was against a wall. When I saw it being planted vertically, and I spoke to him about it, he said he didn't have the space. And there and then, I do see myself, while I may not have, I do have the space on the ground. What I realize is I have more space against the wall. And that's how I plant. If you and you do watch the channel Storm, I do have my vertical garden, but my vertical garden cannot manage some heavy stuff. So what I put on there is like my herbs and succulents. Hello. I know I can't pronounce your name, but I remember the other name. I know it is corn off trees, really. Thank you for coming to my live, and it's good night in your area. It's actually, yeah, because I think we're 2 hours away from you. You're 2 hours away from me. Thank you for coming. Yes. So I do plant vertically, and that is to save money. And like I say, people, it's creativity. You have to be creative in how you conserve. You must be creative. If you don't, remember, it's your pocket, it's your pocket. So if you can plant some things. Right now two I have two pineapples growing around there. One of them I'm really watching. um Corn of Tree says he already joined. I know you joined. I was talking about your thumbs up, and it looks like to the amount of persons I have, yes. Yes, Motorola King. We have to be creative. Hi Seema. Thank you for coming to my live. Um good it's good morning in your side. It's actually good evening in mine. We're going into nightfall pretty soon. And thank you for coming. No. Hi. Hi, Lindsay. Joy. How are you? I am fine over here, and thank you for coming to my live. We're speaking about the creativity, how creative you have to be in conserving, and we're thinking about even planting vertically. We're thinking about the type of appliance that we do buy to ensure that we conserve our money. Um, Another thing too, guys, is on top of the corn off trees. I don't use a lot of emojis over here because it's rather distracting. So please cool down on the emojis. Thank you. Another thing too is the in order to be creative as well, plant what you know you can use for yourself and your family. So take for instance, you go out, corner of trees, please cool off the emojis. No emojis, please. Thank you very much. Now, one of the thing is with, like I say, planting is plant what you know you can use, what you and your family can use. Now, take for instance, you and your family probably buy a pound of tomato. Hi, Adia Vlog TV. Thank you for coming. Now, take for instance, you know you use a pound of tomato probably each month. You use 1 pound. You don't need to plant for newbies chicken. How are you? Yes, I remember you, and you are my friend from the Philippines. Okay, good night. Hi, Ada Vlog. Right. So you know you really use 1 pound of tomato. Why is it that you're going to honestly plant 4 or 5 tomato plants in order to get tomatoes from it? Yes, I do understand you may have a neighbor or two to give it to, but sometimes your neighbor or two that you're giving it to really don't want it. Because I've been offered tomatoes already and I don't want them. So I don't take them. So when I'm being offered some of these things, I don't want it because I don't use a lot of tomatoes. And the things that you may plant is not something that I would probably specialize in. Right now, I have one sweet pepper plant, one. And that one sweet pepper plant has been giving me enough or adequate amount of sweet peppers that I want for my home. For tomato, if I do have a tomato, it would probably be one because it's not something that I do use regularly. If it was probably lettuce, yeah, I would use lettuce quite often. So that I would probably plant a lot of. So you need to consider your household as well when you're conserving. Consider your household. Look on what it is that you have, what it is that your household um, is using. And when you consider what your household is using, then you need to work with it accordingly. Work with it accordingly. And when you do work with it accordingly, um, think of it, please. Don't plant unnecessary things because it means that planting, don't just plant for planting's sake. So you go out there and you want to buy corn. Yeah, you can get a couple of corn. You can get a couple of corn seedlings and you plant those. But don't fill out the entire bed. When you look, you have probably say, Mommy Ari, thank you for coming to my live. Thank you very much for coming to my live. And you see what she said? She said, touchdown. Yes, Storm. Plant what you need. Please don't have. Hi, Mommy Harry. Mommy Harry says, hello, sweetheart. No, plant what you need. Don't plant these unnecessary things. Because you plant all these unnecessary things and you really don't eat them. That's a waste. Because you have to waste water now to water. On top of wasting that water on top of wasting it to water, you now have to probably fertilize. And on top of that, when the fruit or the vegetable finally come, you really don't eat it and it wastes. That's a waste. Remember, it's conserving and conserving creatively. That's what we're doing. And in order to do all of that creatively, trust me, we need to look at what we're doing and consider as well what we're doing and how it is being done. Don't just take up yourself and say you're planting for planting's sake. There are some things that we plant, it can't be helped. We can't determine that each time our tomato plants should come up, then we're going to get a pound of tomato. You can't stop that. Sometimes you may get 2 pounds each time you pick. Sometimes you may get 3 pounds. It depends. I have a mango tree and it's it's it blossom and come up with mangoes tremendously. I can't eat all those mangoes. And as a matter of fact, at this point now, probably because that tree is so aggressive with those mangoes coming out, I'm not eating as much. And I find that I'm giving it away to persons who need it, persons who love it. That's what I'm doing. Now, in your creativity, another thing that you can do, especially with your appliances, is buy ones with low wattage. And let me explain that to you. Now, some of us use blenders, some of us use the NutriBullet or the blenders, whatever it is, to blend our fruits and vegetables. We're making juice because nowadays persons are going the healthy way. So we're making the juices ourselves, or we have that coconut to blend, and we have a blender, or we have that carrot juice to blend, and we have our blender. No, the thing is with those blenders is it does one thing. It just blend, and it blend at different variety of speed. Now, most persons when they go out to purchase a blender, you know what they want it to do? To just blend. However, listen to the creativity in it now. You're going out there and you're going to buy this blender. Look at the wattage. The 1200 watt blender blends as well. The 850 watt blender, it blends as well. Which one do you think would allow you to conserve on electricity? The 850. Both of them blend in. It's just that one using more electricity to do so. So we have to be creative. Think about these things. Even with the toaster oven, they come with different wattages now. So look at them. Look at them. We're considering how creative it is, how creative we can be when we're purchasing our appliances, when we're using our water. And in turn, all of that combined is saving us one thing: money. That's what. Hi, Beth. How are you? Thank you for coming to my live stream. Yes, so all of this, all it is doing is saving our monies in our pocket. That's all it is doing. And that really is the aim. Thank you for coming to my live. Beth says, hi, smart. That's really what it is doing. And that's really what we want. We need to be creative. And like I say, when you're purchasing some of these things, don't ask a repairman. Just when you ask a repairman, you're not a repairman, tell me Saturday. He said the inverter television, the inverter refrigerator is more expensive. Yeah. But what you're considering when you buy an inverter refrigerator, let me tell you what you're considering. You're considering one, you're using less electricity. It means using less electricity have the capability of saving you on your electricity bills. That's one. Two, your refrigerator will end up lasting you longer. Why? Because there's less work on the compressor. Less work. So you have, now look at it. When I purchased my, thank you, Mommy Ari, I know you're there listening. Now, when you're purchasing your refrigerator, the inverter refrigerator, you may pay, I paid about $90,000 for mine. And when you look on the same size refrigerator in the conventional type, it may be probably say $80,000 at the time. Just put it at 70. So you save $20,000 right there. Let me show you my savings with the $20,000. That $90,000 refrigerator may save $5,000 or more every month on my electricity bill. $5,000. When I buy the conventional type, it's going to increase my light bill by $5,000 or more. Good? Now let's work out the two costs. When I work it often, I save $20,000. Let's think of the entire year. Let's cap it at $5,000 a month that I save on my electricity bill. Now 5 times 12 is 60 because I have to pay that electricity bill every month. Overall, I save $60,000 for the year. So when you should pay $60,000 extra, I am saving $60,000. All I spent was $20,000 extra, and you end up spending $60,000 more. Now look at it. So far, there's a $20,000 difference. Good? And then I end up now saving an additional $60,000. So that's $80,000. Not 80. When I take out the 20 out of it, that's $40,000 I saved there. You save $20,000, but you end up spending $60,000. You see it? When I save 40, you spend the extra 40. And not extra 40. Yeah, you spend the extra 40. You see how we need to think about it? So we have to be creative with this conservation thing. We must be creative with it. We have to think about how much it is going to cost me in the long run when I purchase this appliance over that one. And think about what it is that you need these appliances to do. Majority of the time, we know what we want it to do, you know. And getting additional things with it is a plus. Don't let the sales rep sell you those additional things, because you didn't go there for that. You go there for a refrigerator. You didn't go there for a refrigerator that's self-clean. No, you went there for a refrigerator to store your stuff, to keep your things cool. So if they come and they tell you that, oh, it has a double door, that's a plus. If you're paying that extra for that additional item, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just like an air condition. Know that the time we're going into the summer, some person's going to need to either change their air condition or purchase a new one. When you do that, think about it. Think about if you want the inverter technology or the conventional one. The conventional one is way, way cheaper. It is way, way cheaper. However, how long will it last you? Or how long will it be before they start racking up your electricity bill? Because you're going to want to use it. Why have a air conditioner that you're not using? Because you're afraid of the electricity bill. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. We have to consider these things before we even decide what it is that we're going to buy. And the sales rep, these persons are of no help. It's true, Storm, you're laughing. It's true, they're of no help. They're there to put that commission in their pockets. And putting that commission in their pockets mean taking the money out of yours. And on top of them taking the money out of yours, they're helping the light people to continue taking the money out of your pocket. So we have to think about it and be creative. Be creative, people. We may not have the facility to use, some of us may not have the facility to use drip irrigation, but we want plants. Like I tell you, you buy some succulents and use them around the home. Some of us like green, buy a succulent because the succulents don't need a lot of care. It doesn't need a lot of water, but then we still have plants. And for those of you who like plants, please, especially when it comes on to the areas that have drought, we need to find creative ways of watering. So you may use your the water that you use inside. You use it to probably wash up plates, or you use it to cook. In terms of you're washing your rice, use the rice water that you use to wash your rice, use it around your plants. It will be beneficial to your plants, yes, because it is providing something to your plants. Don't just throw it down the drain. Use it on the plants. Your plants will benefit. Your plants will love you for it. We have to be creative. And creativity, like I say, will be able to save us probably thousands of dollars in the long run. However, in your creativity, don't do it for it to be a burden. Because one of the things with conservation, if conservation is a burden, you won't continue it. I can tell you that you won't continue. You understand, Storm? You see you laughing? Yes, Storm, it's true. If we're burdened by it, so if we're burdened by the fact that Maya have to go out there and water the plants every day or every other day, those are not your type of plants if you feel burdened by it. Because for me, I practice lazy person gardening, So I have some plants and it's once per week I water them. Once per week. And they don't die. They all bloom, even now. Once per week. And I don't have a lot of succulents. I like succulents, yes, because it's easy to care for. However, I do like orchids as well, and orchids are very easy to care for. And what I do with that is I just water it once a week. And then for the times that I'm cooking and I have that rice water, I throw it around the plants that need it. So you can do things creatively that assist. Don't let it be a burden. Because if it's a burden, you're not, I repeat, you're not going to want to continue it. And especially with your electricity people. There are things that you can do creatively to conserve. For me, I don't like to plug out things. As much as I may fool around testing equipment and test other things, I really don't like to touch the raw electricity or put my hands near the plugs. I don't like it. So I would tend to pull out a cord. Now, just imagine if I was watching my television and I had to pull that cord each time out of that socket. You know what will happen? One, the constant pulling out and putting in of that cord or that plug will wear that socket quickly. And two, what it does is it will damage the cord when I'm pulling it. Now, the laziness that is in me in doing some of that, what I do is I get some what you call it again, some remote control switches. And I have two remotes for it. So if I'm in the kitchen and I want to shut down I turn off the TV, but I want to shut down any form of phantom electricity from reaching my television set, I just switch the press a letter on the remote control. And for those who don't know, phantom electricity is what passes through a, a plug or a switch, whatever it is, and it wastes. So take for instance, you have your telephones and you have that adapter plugged in, ready to receive that telephone, that cell phones, those cell phones, but the cell phone that you have, you're not ready to charge it yet, but it is plugged in, you're wasting phantom electricity right there. Another thing too that wastes phantom electricity would be our microwaves. You ever look, and when you look, you see some nice pretty displays on our microwave. You see the lights flashing, and it is reading something, like it would probably say defrost for half hour, do this for that. It is phantom electricity. So we can conserve, and conservation means we need to think about it and do it creatively, that it's not a burden. Thank you for coming, corner of the trees. Right, so we can do it creatively. And doing it creatively, it means that we do conserve, and it's not a burden. Because if you have the habit of doing something constantly, then it will become a norm. And having it become a norm will be easier on you. It will be easier on you. Now, on top of all of that, and we're speaking about being creative, being creative with our conservation method, the overall aim is to save our monies in our pockets. And saving the money in our pockets, it may mean as well that we can use that money to do something that is constructive or something that will benefit us in the long run. So, take for instance, we're able to conserve either electricity or water. This is what can happen. We may be able to save that money to buy a water tank, and that water tank we can use, especially when we don't have any water supply in our homes. Now, being creative with our electricity may mean we are able to purchase that well deserved solar system. And having that solar power system in our homes will help. Richard Scott is saying he's learning a lot about the refrigerator and the labor that's on the generator when it is packed. It's not the generator, Richard, it's a compressor. You ever open that refrigerator and when you close it, you hear something go it's like it has this heavy sound. No, that heavy sound is a compressor. And as a matter of fact, it gets heavier when you open and close it. With the inverter technology refrigerator, you don't hear that. And the reason is it does not operate like that, where when you especially open and close it, or you have for the conventional refrigerator as well, sometimes you don't really have to open and close it, it just wants to keep things cool. And what it does with the conventional refrigerator is it takes the cool air from the top and it pushes it down to the bottom of the refrigerator. So you see if the top of your refrigerator not working, everything down the bottom is going to spoil. Motorola King is saying, smart, I will be here every Sunday. Nice. Thank you very much, Motorola King, for being here. Yes, so Richard, it's not the generator, it's a compressor that is in it that is making that sound. And each time you hear that compressor moving or you hear that compressor with that heavy sound, it is the meter moving. That is a sad part of it. It is moving that meter. And moving that meter is moving our monies out of our pockets. So if you consider the inverter technology, you have the refrigerator there and you don't even hear it. Even when, sometimes when the power is out and when the power comes back, the refrigerator chipping with that sound, that heavy sound, that's how the conventional refrigerator chips in. It chips in with that heavy sound. You don't hear that for the inverter technology refrigerator. Sometimes it don't even operate as if you had one. You don't even hear it. You don't hear it any at all. So we need to do our research. Storm is saying, "Oh, my money is wasted." You have the conventional refrigerator, Storm, and if you do, how old is it? Now, when we sit and we should consider all of the conservation methods that we are to learn about or that there is out there, we should also consider if it can work for us. And when I say if it works for us, I mean I may use a method and it doesn't work for you. What I mean by that, let me give you an example. I know persons who don't use timers on their refrigerator and they plug out religiously every night. They try and plug out that refrigerator. And plugging out that refrigerator it means that in the morning again, they plug it back in. And it's just to save electricity. I can't use that method. And the reason why I can't use that method is my memory. I don't have the time in the morning to try and remember Jesus the refrigerator. I don't have that. Hello, Motodoc. Thank you for the like and thank you for coming. I don't have that time in the morning to be plugging out and plugging out in the night and plugging back in the morning. I don't have that time. So I know that that method would not work for me. For those persons who have done it, kudos to you. I can't do that. I try and choose the method that works for me. And the method that works for me is it shut down by itself automatically without me even realizing it, without me even thinking about it. So, like I say, consider all the methods that there is or that exist. You may have a method that I did not even speak about. You may also have a method that you are consider you have considered using. Go ahead, try it. See how much you save with it. And if it works for you, continue with it. Continue with it. I have had 29 likes. I'm not sure how many persons have been in and out of the live. However, I want to thank you from wherever you are, from the Jamaica to the Philippines to the we have Japan, we have Brazil, we have persons from all over. I have been privy to meet some very lovely people. The world is filled with nice people, you know. That's the thing. The world is filled with lovely people and persons who want to know, persons who want the knowledge. And I want to thank you all for coming to the live in whatever little form or way that you can. Please remember to conserve and do not let conservation be a burden. And I would like to say good night, good morning, or good evening to all persons out there in the world. Thank you again for coming to the live stream. And I'm now out and ending.